Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So, the S&P and Dow and NASDAQ had the worst week in 2 years. We had a really bad week last week. Okay, it was a major correction week. In fact, S&P 500 entered correction week. Okay, so like I said, today and tomorrow, we'll probably not see much because the FOMC meeting is coming on Wednesday. It's a 99% chance that there will be no rate cut, but all eyes will be on Powell to see what he says about the next FOMC meeting, which will come in May. So I think a lot will be focused on tariffs. Powell already said that he wants more clarity on the tariffs before he makes a decision, which is probably the right move, but he's under a lot of pressure to cut the rate and cut a lot more than just 25 basis points for the remainder of this year. So I know all the reporters will continue to just hammer him more on the effects of tariffs, whether or not he thinks that inflation will go up because of it, and also whether or not he's going to be cutting the Fed fund rate, even though inflation is going to go up, to that effect. So a lot of questions around that, I'm pretty sure. Okay, now getting back to this Warren Buffett thing. Warren Buffett, I think everyone knows who he is, right? He's not a Bitcoin guy. He's not a Bitcoin guy. He hates Bitcoin. He doesn't understand Bitcoin. We all know that. We all accept that. He's like 96 years old. Technology is just not his thing. Okay, which is fine. But he's been a Wall Street veteran running Berkshire Hathaway for countless decades. He has seen many recessions, and he has taken advantage of many recessions. And he has seen signs of bad times and he knows how to take advantage of them. Right now, what he's doing is unloading. He has $334 billion in cash. He has been unloading for 9 straight quarters. So he's been doing it for years now. Okay. He's been anticipating that something's going to happen because he believes it in cycles. But now he's looking like he's a genius because he has $334 billion in cash. He's also exiting real estate in a major way. So some believe that there could be a housing bubble once again because home prices are high and rates are still high and there's not a lot of supply. So something's off there. And he's also dumping a lot of US stocks, including Apple, and moving money to Japan now. Okay, and that could be because of all the tariff stuff, could be because of all the uncertainty, all the things that's going on, right? But $334 billion in cash, he's building up that cash pile. So does he know something that we don't? I don't know. But I do think that the one thing that we could take out of this is having cash is important, right? I've said this before. I've lived through a couple cycles, Bitcoin cycles, and I've always said it's important to have some cash, some dry powder on hand, 20, 25, 30%, so that if we have dips, we have corrections, or if you're DCAing long term, you'll be able to do so, because if you don't, then you can't. You can't take advantage or you can't continue to DCA, but at least you can continue to hodl because we will get through this. But if you do have the ability to, have that dry powder or build that cash pile, then you'll be able to take advantage because we will find that bottom, right, for Bitcoin and crypto, and we will move forward. We definitely will. So last week, S&P 500 and the broader market had one of the worst weeks ever in the last 2 years. Same thing for crypto. We had 6.4 billion outflow from the majority, the bigger caps. Okay. Well, actually, that's in cumulative over the last 5 weeks. Okay. It's starting to add up. Last week was 1.7 billion, but overall, you could see In 5 weeks, that's what happened, right? Since January till now, it's been brutal. That's why you're seeing so much sell-offs on the alts and for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's mostly from Wall Street. But yeah, I mean, overall, you're just seeing a massive outflow everywhere. Everywhere. But is all lost? No. No. So this is a really good reminder that since the election pump, since the election, Bitcoin is still outperforming the S&P 500. Okay, even though it looks bleak, even though it looks like Bitcoin may have fallen more than everything else, Bitcoin is still outperforming the S&P 500. And of course, long term, it's not even close. It's not even close. Okay, the further you stretch the timeline, the more you see Bitcoin outperforms the S&P 500 by millions of percent. Okay, and that's not exaggeration. That is how strong Bitcoin is over time. You just can't outperform it. And even though gold has been doing so well recently, over $3,000 now, look at how it compares to Bitcoin. Nothing outperforms Bitcoin over a long haul. So even though we have some weakness right now and Bitcoin's at $83,000, stretch out your timeline. Realize that this is still the best asset to hold because of the scarcity. Nothing outperforms Bitcoin. And if you truly understand that and your investment timeline is over years, not just months or weeks, then you'll realize the best strategy is continue to hodl and to DCA. That's why having that cash pile is so important. Saylor bought some more. A smaller purchase than usual, 130. He usually buys 10,000 or whatever he buys at. He buys billions. This time just a 10 million buy. Smaller amount, but still. He's acquiring more and more and more and more. Okay, and that's the right way to do it. Even smaller buys counts. DCA over the time works, right? So just want to give you guys that gentle reminder that Bitcoin is worth holding on to and worth acquiring over the long haul. Now, just the last few things, okay? There is some kind of whale that has placed a $420 million short on Bitcoin with a 40x. And they will get liquidated at 86,000. So there is a public hunt to see who it is, and there's a public call to try to liquidate whoever it is. That is an enormous amount, and no one knows who it is. We don't know. We don't know. We'll see. But hey, hitting 86,000 could come at any time, and that's what we want to see. We want to see this. And a lot of people think it could be the hackers. Could be like the Bybit hackers, the Lazarus hackers, or someone else. We don't know. We don't know.